Hello! I'm Elaine, and I'm a tour guide in the French Quarter. I do ghost tours. And I am not going to tell you the stories that I tell on my tour because you got to pay for those. But if you want to hear some interesting things that have happened to me while I'm leading random drunk people around the French Quarter, I got you. Over the years, being a tour guide, which at this point, yes, I've had a few years, I've noticed that I don't quite have the patience I used to have. Like, I used to be a lot more calm and quiet and collected and peaceful when people interrupt my tour. And nowadays, nah, I ain't got time for that. Like, if you're being rude to me, you're gonna get rude real quick. Now, I have learned that the best way to get people to leave my tour when they come up and try to join is to just be as passive aggressively friendly as humanly possible, which I didn't think I was being passive aggressive, but a friend of mine says I was, so. But I usually just go, "Hi, can I help you?" And that usually sends like 9 out of 10 people away. But the problem is, that's not the only kind of interruptions we get. And sometimes after an event happens, I am left looking back going, am I just super temperamental? Or was that rude as hell? One example is I was walking up to a location with my group, and like to the point of I'd already said, okay, guys, gather round, gather round. We're gathering on this sidewalk, gather towards the front, like I tend to do. And a guy comes out of a house right behind us. And I'm like, he's about to yell at us. He's about to like harass us or scream something offensive. But instead, he smiled and said, "Hi, can I ask you a question?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, of course, go right ahead." And what he asked was, "Do you know?" And he inserted the name of another tour guide. And the thing is, yeah, I do know her. I don't know her well enough. I can like go up and like would feel comfortable chatting with her in the grocery store, but I know her by name. I can spot her in the street. Like I know who she is. But my response was, yeah, I sort of do. Like, I know of her more. And he was like, okay, good. I need to ask your opinion on. And I was like, sir, if this is going to be long, I'm sort of in the middle of something. We could talk about this later. And he was like, no, 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 it'll be very quick. I just need to know how you feel about all this stuff with the tour guide numbers. And I was like, okay, sir, I really don't have time for this. Like, I am about to start a story. I'm already running late tonight. I have 28 guests watching me have this conversation. And also, this is a conversation I do not want to have with a random stranger, because the tour guide he mentioned is one that a lot of people don't like. And there's a lot of drama around this tour guide. And I could just sense that drama was going to come up. And I personally do not think it's professional to bring up tour guide drama in front of guests, and I have made the mistake of doing it before. It has happened. Sometimes I'm just in a talkative mood and it slips out. But generally speaking, I try not to let the guests know about the drama behind the scenes. But he just kept pushing, be like, no, 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 I just want to talk to you about this. And finally, I just had to like lay my foot down and be like, sir, I'm not going to talk to you about this right now. I will be walking by later if you want to talk about it, but not right now. And he sort of turned away looking all angry. And I was like, was I rude or was that rude as hell? Because I'm sorry. You would not walk up and interrupt complete strangers' conversations on the side of the road. Why do you feel like it's suddenly appropriate when it's a tour guide? But another version of that is I was in the middle of telling a story. Like, I was well into it. And a woman comes out on a balcony above us and just goes, hello. And of course I go, hi. And she responds with, hello. And I was like, can I help you? Because I was expecting her to be like either, oh, I really like your story. It's nice hearing you. Or, hey, could you not tell this story right here? We're having an event. Or even just, hey, I didn't know that. But instead, she just goes, hello, again. To anything I say to her, the response is, hello, until finally I stop talking to her and just start talking over her. Because I'm like, dude, I got stuff to do. I ain't got time for this. But one of the things that I found out annoys me more than anything else in the world, I thought for the longest time the ones that annoyed me the most were the tour groups that no one laughs at any of my jokes all night, because yeah, there are a lot of jokes in ghost tours. It is really hard to maintain a spooky aura for an hour and a half to 2 hours, and if you break it up with other emotions, people are more likely to experience actual chills sometimes, though we do not guarantee that you will experience chills, because objectively, I'm telling you, ghost stories on the side of the road, it ain't gonna be that scary. So jokes are a useful addendum. And some nights you have those nights that, yeah, nobody laughs. And you're just standing there being like, oh, please, laugh at something. I know they're bad jokes, but laugh. But it turns out there is something slightly more annoying. Actually, two things slightly more annoying. One is the guest that laughs at a moment that is not a joke. I did have a lady tonight who laughed when I was talking about the tortured people at the Lalaurie mansion. And I mean, literally, I list something that happened to one of them and she laughs. And I'm like, that was not a joke. But the other thing that turns out to be the most annoying thing I've ever heard in my life, I had a guest a couple of weeks ago who laughed before every joke. Like, during the setup, I just start telling something that you could probably tell it was going to be a joke because I was smiling and she'd laugh. And it was infuriating. So yeah, some of these things, I'm not sure if they're actually as annoying as I think they are, or if I'm just out of patience with all this. But yeah, so please don't bother me on the tour. I don't have a lot of patience left. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to share your own experiences in the comments below.